So they paused the Johnson COVID vaccine. I still have symptoms. So I went back to ER. Well, hello and welcome to another episode of Jamila's Life with Hypothyroidism. If you're returning for another video, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. This channel would not exist without you guys. If you ran across my channel for whatever reason, thank you for stopping and hitting that play button. And then, of course, if you have not already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so that way you know when I upload another video. All right, give you a second. All right, you got it. So before I go into the whole little why I went back to the ER thing, we gotta teach you something, and we're gonna teach it very simply. Inside your body is this little butterfly organ in your throat. It's called the thyroid. The thyroid produces hormones. And if it doesn't produce enough or produces too little, you're going to end up with a form of thyroid disease. The two most common thyroid disease are hypothyroidism and hyperthyroidism. Hypothyroidism, which is what I suffer from, is when your body does not produce enough of these hormones, so it slows the body down. Okay? And then if you have hyperthyroidism, it produces way too much and it just speeds up your body and you're just going. It's basic. So definitely, let's start that all over again. So if you've ever had any of the symptoms that I had from thyroid, or if you are researching thyroidism and you're having any of the symptoms, go to your doctor and ask them to do a complete thyroid blood work on you. So they'll be testing your hormones, your T3s, your T4s, as well as your antibodies. Okay, that's enough of the history lesson. So this will be my part 3 of this Johnson & Johnson mess. Like, I'm just gonna call it that. 1, 2, 3 of my Johnson & Johnson COVID vaccine. So if you haven't already, you want to definitely go back to watch. You might want to go back and watch the video where it actually sent me to the ER in the middle of the night. And then, of course, there's a video posted about a week later, maybe a little bit longer, from when I had a follow-up with my primary, who basically said its side effects are from the vaccine. And, of course, that happened all before federal government pulled the plug on Johnson & Johnson. So if you don't know, I'll definitely have links down below. You can click those links. And I'll also have my other videos linked below. And there might be some cards posted somewhere up there. You know how YouTube does it in regards to it as well. So what happened is the day after I had a follow-up visit with my primary, the federal government pulled the plug or paused the Johnson & Johnson. And the reason why they paused it is because at that time, only 6 people developed these rare blood clots. And it has to do with having a rare autoimmune disease, what I'm currently being looked into for. And they caused blood clots. And of those 6 women, 1 was critically hospitalized and 1 person died. So we're going to go all the way back to this Tuesday. I want to say it's Tuesday the 13th. Yeah, Tuesday, April the 13th. So exactly 1 week after I have had my vaccine, I start getting text messages from people about how the federal government has paused it. Now, over the course of the weekend, I've already gotten text messages from people about how different cities and different states are pausing them. Where I live, they were paused before the federal government chose to pause them. And of course, when people read what happened, they're like, oh my God, this happened to you. Are you okay? So I should let you know, it is a week and a few days after I've had my vaccine, and I still have issues. I still have a dull headache that I've had continuously, and it's at my temples. And I'm not taking off my hat because I haven't done my hair, so you guys get to look at my angel symbol, because last hat I had was the ravens. And then I also have a headache on the base of my neck, so like right here before you, like right under your skull, but not necessarily like my neck. And I could tell you right now, because I've been suffering with brain fog, I kind of just like used to it. And on a pain scale of 1 to 10, it's like a 5 or 6, so it's about average. The other thing that I have is brain fog, which is something that's already part of my hypothyroidism. And I've already been doing things to kind of help that out, but it's more pronounced since I've had the vaccine. The last thing is nausea. So if you've been following me and watching any of the videos, or if you've had a chance to watch any of the videos on my channel, you already know, since January, I've had nausea, indigestion, gas, and constipation. Like, that's part of my regular life. The difference is those symptoms were starting to wane prior to getting the vaccine. So now we're going back. So that's the basic of what's been going on, right? So we go to Tuesday and I go to my sister's house, my baby sister's house. Hi, Pluto Wudo. Hang out with her, pick up something, and I'm getting all these text messages. The federal government paused them. You had the same symptoms. You need to go get checked out. How are you feeling? Now, mind you, I've already talked to my primary, and she said if I continue to have headaches and I continue to have nausea, go back to ER and see if there's something that they can do. When I left the ER, I wasn't confident that they treated me the right way. Like, looking back at the symptoms I had, like I wish the information about the Johnson & Johnson was out then. Now, let's pause that just a little bit, because I could be like a hypochondriac right now. Because, one, most of these women who develop symptoms develop them from week 1 to week 3. I developed them on hour 8, literally like hour 8 of the vaccine. Or it could have been like hour 9, something like that. So it's not very common. It's not a common thing. Let's just put that. The other thing that I should probably mention is I've had blood work. I've had several blood work, and right now everything says it's fine. So the symptoms that I've had from the Johnson & Johnson are normal side effects for someone. And the last thing is there's a possibility I've already had COVID. But because I had it before people were testing for it, and I did not get an antibody test to prove that I've had it, my body could just be responding to the fact that I've already had it and blah. So that's where we're at. But mind you, my doctor did say if I continue to have nausea and if I continue to have headaches, go to ER. She ordered blood work. I did blood work yesterday. I went to a common place around here to get my blood work done. It takes 48 hours, 2 business days to do the blood work. So my doctor should get it no later than Monday. I have a follow-up a week from today. So everything should be okay, because I don't think my blood has changed in a matter of a week, so to speak. But I did go back to ER. I did. And I'm going to tell you why. The headaches. I have experienced someone who've had strokes, and I've experienced several people who had strokes. And a lot of times it starts off with just a headache, a dull headache. And then from there, it's not treated because you think that it's just a headache, and it turns progressively worse. Now, because when I went to ER the first time, I did think I have a stroke, and I did think they misdiagnosed me with just an adverse reaction to a vaccine. I was concerned for my own health. So I went. And I had a nice little doctor. He was very caring and understanding. He was willing to prescribe me pretty much everything but Norco. And I did turn down the medication because I already take 2 every day, and I don't really want to take more. But he said he looked, hormones were normal, so that was kind of cool. And he said, I'll go ahead and order a CAT scan. We'll do another blood workup. And he said, while you're here, if you want, you can have pain medication. I told him no, because I'm not eating. So I'm not willing to take pain medications on an empty stomach, especially since I already had gastrointestinal issues, and it just makes it worse. But I'm glad I went back. CAT scan came back normal, thank God. My blood work came back normal. So again, I was told if I continue to have the headaches or if I continue to have the gastrointestinals, go ahead and come back to the ER so see if there's something else that's wrong. So it's been 2 days. I still have the headaches, the brain fog, and I still have the nausea. So I'm pretty much back to eating one meal a day. It's typically the meal I eat around dinner time, which I try to have my dinner around 6 if I'm cooking it. If it's already, we're eating at 9, and that's not good because then I wake up feeling sick. But so it's just one meal a day, and I'll take my Motrin at that time because I just want it to help me sleep a little better. I might also take a Zofran depending on how nauseated my stomach is, but I try not to take that if I can deal with the nausea because Zofran knocks a girl out, and I gotta wake up in the morning and take my pill. It is what it is. So yeah, I went back to the ER. I went back to the ER, and I went back to the ER because I know my body and I know what I'm feeling is not right. And as I said in a lot of like my hypothyroidism, that we have to be our own advocate. Like your greatest advocate is yourself. And the night that I went to ER, I couldn't advocate for myself. I couldn't tell them like, hey, I have hypothyroidism. I'm in the process of being diagnosed for autoimmune disease. I'm having symptoms that may very well be a side effect of this vaccine, but there's something not right. And the fact that I'm seizing and having convulsions, if they knew then last week what they know now, would have been a red flag. So I went back to ER. And then this is the part that gets crazy. So I told you guys a whole story of me trying to get my COVID vaccine at CVS, and they didn't text me about checking in or anything like that. Like my appointment was like poof, gone. Well, yesterday CVS texted me, and they were like, okay, you got the Johnson. Our records show that you got the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, and the FDA's pausing it, whatever it said. If you've had this vaccine, since you've had this vaccine, click this link to find out more details. Essentially, so click the link, and it's telling you everything that's on NPR and the news networks. You get the whole point. So I clicked the link. Same thing's going on, and I'm sitting here thinking to myself, okay, so why'd you send this? And then if you scroll down all the way to the bottom, it says, if you've had a reaction to this vaccine, please let us know. So I click it because I had a reaction. I have a reaction that I don't think was normal. As much as everyone wants to tell me it's normal, as much as the medical providers are saying this is a normal reaction, I know this is not a normal reaction for me because I've had vaccines before. And so I clicked the link, and it's going to the federal government, and they want to know what happened. So I filled it out. And I don't think there was anything wrong with filling it out. I think that it was a valid point to fill it out. I think that the federal government should know that there are people out there who are having these adverse reactions. I think that if they're going to continue to utilize this vaccine, that it should be studied. Personally, what I'm doing every day and throughout the day is I am checking myself. So I do know that part of blood clotting is deep muscle pain in your extremities. The only extremities I have a problem with are like my feet and my calves because they're cold and they're numb. So I don't know if I would be able to feel the pain. So every once in a while, like I'll pinch, like, can I feel it? Yeah, okay, I can feel pain. So I do know that. So if you have like deep vein clots, like you're going to have pain in your extremities. Kind of like someone who has sickle cell, deep pain in your extremities. The other thing is swelling. So if I'm like watching my hands, I'm looking at my feet, I'm trying to feel if I feel like I'm swelling anywhere. And that's another thing to look for if I'm going to have a stroke. Brain fog is kind of hard because I always have brain fog. And like even these videos, guys, like I hate editing them because I have to like slice and chop and put back together and stop and redo it because my brain goes, even with my notes, like I have notes posted up here, and it's like my brain goes like, I don't understand what you're asking me to do, but okay. So like brain fogs, I can't really monitor that one too much. passing out. When I pass out, I have fainting spells like once a week. So I can't say if it's from the Johnson & Johnson or if it's from, what I'm feeling normally. Other things that I'm looking for is drooping of my face, particularly the left side. So if I start feeling like numbness on the left side of my face, that's a possibility of a stroke. And that's the ones that I know of. And again, that's from my experience with individuals who have had strokes. So I am monitoring myself. I am my greatest advocate. If I feel something is wrong or something is not right, I will go back to urgent care and I will go to ER because I got to take care of me, because there's no one else who really will. Granted, yes, there are people, you know who you are. I'm not even going to say your name. There's like a handful of you out there in cyber world who will jump up and do whatever it is that I need you to do for me to be well. But ultimately, it's me, because you guys aren't in my body. Like, you can't necessarily say, if you're in another house, that, oh, Jamila's not feeling well, let me go take care of her. So yeah, so that's part 3 of my COVID vaccine update. Yes, I did go back to ER. Yes, I will go back if I continue to have headaches or if the pain increases. I have a follow-up with my primary in a week. So hopefully we'll get some answers in regards to my blood work. But other than that, that's life. That's it. How do I feel now that I've had 3 updates on my vaccine? Would I do it again? The answer is still maybe. It is still maybe. Would I get the COVID vaccine again? Maybe. Maybe. I know it was recommended. I know that they're trying to treat me for like an autoimmune disease. But I think I would have waited and got it after I was diagnosed and a little bit more stable. Yeah, that's why I would have waited and still been on quarantine. Do I recommend people get it? Absolutely. But you gotta do what's right for you and your body and what your medical professionals are telling you. So if your doctor is telling you that you need to have it and they're really urging you to, listen to your doctor. It's as simple as that. So if you made it to the end of this video, I want to say thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. Go ahead and leave a comment below if you plan on being vaccinated after listening to my wonderful stories. And definitely tell us why. Let's have an open discussion. Be polite about it, because we're here to learn. That's what YouTube is all about, learning from one another, learning from other people's experiences. If you made it to the end, you have not subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you can know when I'm posting another video. I try to post at least 1 video a week, depending on my energy level. And it's mostly going to be about hypothyroidism and what I'm eating because of hypothyroidism, because I can't eat anything anymore. I want to say thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Everyone who has shared the videos, thank you very much. And I'll see you next time.